Hi everybody and welcome to my attempt this week at BBO's weekly free instant tournament. Instant tournaments, weekly free instant tournaments, and history up. Right, so one club from the robot, which could be a 3-card suit, and we've got this 12-point hand. Now remember, this is a best hand tournament, so nobody has more around the table has more than 12 points. So my partner has 11 or 12 points. The robots never open on 10 points. So, and they open with shapely 11s or more balanced 12 points. And well, get my club suits. This is more likely to be balanced 12 counts than anything else. They might have a lot of clubs, small clubs. So I've got initially, I think game is probably unlikely unless we have a heart fit. I'm expecting when I say one heart, North is going to say one spade, and then I'm going to have a difficult decision. But I'm going to say one heart for now and see if North can surprise us. A heart. So West has got the spades. He overcalls. He's supported him, but more interesting, if I go back to this double, you'll see it's a convention, a support double showing exactly 3 hearts. So I personally don't like this convention. A lot of people swear by it, being able to show 3-card support for your partner. But I like to play the double here, showing a takeout, showing 4 and showing in this case probably 4 diamonds, and probably some tolerance for hearts, because you've got to be prepared if these passes for partner to rebid their hearts. But I think that's a much more flexible use of the double rather than this support double, which is just used for 3-card support. But comes around to that, opponents are supporting spades. We've got spade shortage, but we're going to be taking these spade roughs in the long trump hand. They've got 8-card fit or a 9-card fit. If they got a 9-card fit, then partner's only got, that gives us 4 between me and my partner. Partner's got 2. I can rough twice in my hand to get rid of the losers. So that doesn't do any good. But if they got an 8-card fit and my partner's got 4, I could rough hearts 3 times and leave my partner to draw trumps, because they presumably got 3 higher heart. Yeah, not some of their hearts will be higher than mine. But they got a club fit as well, so there's the chance the jack of clubs to take up there, and 12 points. If they don't have too many of them in spades, maybe they got some diamonds. It's quite close as to whether we should bid game here. What would the robot think 3 hearts is? Just says the law. And I've got 5 hearts, because this is the law of total tricks that says we should bid the level of our fit. Well, we've only got an 8-card fit, but when the opponents bid a higher suit at the 2 level, we should bid 3 over 2. We should, with an 8-card fit, and they got at least an 8-card fit. So in this case, it would be right to bid 3 hearts, certainly not vulnerable, if the points were close. But as it is, we know we've got the majority of points. It doesn't look as though we can beat 2 spades. We might be able to, but they're only 50s. And double here would show this forcing the 3 now trump shows 13 plus total points. And I don't really want to do that, because I do have 13 plus total points, but that includes points for shortage and spades. So we don't want them bidding 3 no trump robot to bid 3 no trumps with 3 to the queen in spades. Our choice is between bidding 3 hearts, which is probably just competing for the part score and the robot's likely to pass. Or 4 hearts, which says 13 to 16 total points. And now I can take account of my shortage, although I'll be roughing in the long trump hand. I think I'm going to 4 hearts. There are too many chances. Yeah, there's a reasonable chance we'll just lose 1 spade, 1 heart, and 1 diamond. So let's bid 4 hearts. My partner does have 4 hearts, and the ability to draw trumps themselves. We don't. Our problem. Yeah, so we've got our spade loser. And you thought the robot's likely to switch now. No. So we'll get rid of one of East's honors. So if we look at my hand, as it were, it looks like we need to hope East has the ace of diamonds and that we can rough a diamond in dummy. So that we only lose 1 diamond trick. But there is an alternative line which involves roughing these 2 spades in our hand. It's called a dummy reversal. So we're going to rough. We started off with 5 hearts in my hand and 3 hearts in dummy for 8 hearts. Now they've got 5 hearts, which may well break 3-2. They might not, but especially as they only bid to the 2 level in spades. But if they do, those will be good enough to draw the trumps. So a better than if you see, if we had to rough the diamond in dummy, we'd be roughing with a big trump, and it would probably set up a trump trick for them. So a better line is to try and rough these 2 spades in my hand. Then we'll only have 2 diamonds to lose at most. Because the odds are the ace of diamonds is in the West hand, because West made the overcall and East just supported them. So West is likely to have more points than East. Partner started off, as you can see, with 12 points, the same as us. So if we look at it, we want to rough 2 more times in our hand. We can go, and we can do that. We can go the 4 of hearts to the ace of hearts, rough the spade, go to the ace of hearts. We put the ace first time, king of hearts, rough another spade, and then we can cross to dummy, hopefully with the jack of clubs, draw the last trump if they split 3-2, and we will then have to cash off all clubs. And then we'd have to play diamonds from the sand, so we definitely lose 2 diamonds. There is, however, if we look at the bidding, West overcalled 1 spade, so they have 5 spades. And if you remember, dummy started off with 4, and we started off with 1, which is 5. 5 and 5 is 10, so East only has 3 spades, which is fine. They could raise 1 spade to 2 spades, knowing their partner has 5. But that means that East will be out of spades on the 4th round of spades. So if they've got the jack of hearts, they will be able to overruff. The 4th round of spades. But then they'll have to find a lead. And they'll probably lead a heart, which is safe. But now I will be in a position to lead diamonds towards this hand. I'd still only lose 1 heart and 2 diamonds at worst. And we might get the robots to lead diamonds for us. possibly when they ruff. And the other possibility is, of course, that when East ruffs, they may have 4 hearts to the jack, in which case they're just ruffing with a natural trump trick of the hearts of 4-1. So all in all, I think that's the best line. I don't think we should go for ruffing a diamond in dummy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cross to the ace of hearts, lead another spade, ruffed, and I'm going to cross King of Hearts. So we know it's not a natural trump trick that they have. But if they don't have the jack, then we're going to. It looks like they don't. Now the only danger is that they might be able to ruff a club. No, so we can draw. So we want to draw the last trump. Other alternative is to play all the clubs, but then perhaps I shouldn't have played the clubs. If I play all the clubs, then I think this hand could always play a spade if they were in the rough. But if this one ruffed a club, they would have only had diamonds left. They have the queen of diamonds. So that was poor play by me. If I thought about it a bit more, I'd have given myself a chance of making an over trick. But I'm going to draw the last trump now. And the jack was there. They could have jumped up with it and made sure of course, it looks like maybe they didn't because they have the ace of diamonds. I'm just going to cash my trump tricks now. I'm sure they haven't done anything silly, but so the ace of diamonds is there, and it looks like the queen of diamonds is there. It is. So I could have made an over trick. I could have played that better. I got 92.9 for making 4, but let me show you the line that would have been the better line had I thought earlier of it. So if I come here and just show you this hand, let's just see if it does work the way I think it does. So here we are. We'll just go through it. Then a spade, another spade. I ruffed, crossed the dummy, ruffed another spade. Goes back to dummy, ruffed another spade. They didn't ruff while they're ruffing with the jack to make their trick. They threw a diamond. It's going to be better throw a club. I ruffed. Now, my best line is not to draw this trump, I think. See, does this make any difference? No, because we've already lost one trick. And yeah, I'm going to lose the ace of diamonds and a trump, so it's no better. I could have, if I now play clubs, it does take a bigger risk because if ace queen of diamonds are over me, I lose 2 diamonds. But if this hand has the queen, you'll see if I do now just play clubs. And if this hand were to ruff now, they'd have to leave diamonds away from the queen. And I can let that run to the jack. And I just lose the 1 diamond. So it would have been the same result anyway, and might not have been if the ace queen of diamonds was set on. So I took the right line as it was. Yep, so 92.9% would do quite nicely. Presumably most people didn't bid game. Oh, a lot of people went down in game. So I suspect that those people didn't play the dummy reversal. But that's something, it's not very often right to ruff in the long trump hand. You don't gain normally by ruffing in the long trump hand. I only gained by roughing in the long trump hand because I ruffed 3 times, which made it the short trump hand. And you can only do that if the original short trump hand has plenty of high trumps in it to draw the remaining trumps, and that was the case there. So in that hand, the dummy reversal stuck out a lot, and was worth a lot of points. But in general, don't ruff in the long trump hand. If you never ruff in the long trump hand and never play a dummy reversal, you still will do a lot better than people who do ruff in the long trump hand and weaken their trumps. But a dummy reversal, if you're is a useful weapon to have in your armory. If you're clear that you're going to ruff enough times to make the long trump hand the short trump hand, I have fewer trumps than the original short trump hand, and the original short trump hand has enough high trumps to draw the opponent's trumps. Those are the aspects that make a ruffing thing, a dummy reversal, a possibility. So you can look out for that. People first find it difficult to spot the opportunities to play a dummy reversal. They're very easily missed, particularly when they put them into books and quizzes and so on. And I find that so when they're written down just on a piece of paper, I find it quite easy to miss dummy reversals. But here, when the cards are there in front of you, it's should be possible to see the opportunity, which there was there with the 3 high hearts in dummy, the singleton spade and 4 spades over there. And you may have heard me say when I was considering bidding 4 hearts that was a possibility if they only had an 8-card spade fit, so that partner had 4, we might be able to ruff 3 times in my hand, making my hand the short trump hand. So that was a consideration when I bid the game, was that it might be a dummy reversal. So here we come to board 2, which is a flat 15 count, and the robot opens then 1 no trump. 2 spades is minor suit Stayman. So just ask me, have I got a 4-card minor suit? I really don't like this convention, but we'll bid 3 clubs because we've got 4 clubs and we've got a minimum hand, so we don't want to do anything else. And they bid 3 no trumps. So they've got, just tells us they've got 4 clubs and 4 diamonds and 10 plus total points. Why did they bid 2 spades? Why tell the defenders that you've got 4 clubs and 4 diamonds before they make their opening lead? Why not just bid 3 no trumps if that's what you're going to do when you find a 4-4 minor suit fit? Just bid 3 no trumps straight away and don't tell the opponents anything. We're not going to get a club or a diamond lead this time. We may get a spade lead into the ace queen. That's a possibility, but we're going to pass and have a look-see. And we do get a spade lead. Right, here we go. Well, the diamonds look quite good. We've got reasonable chances of making 5 diamond tricks. We should be able to make 3 spade tricks. King, Queen of Hearts, we are only going to make 1 heart trick. We won't make any more, but there are lots of possibilities of club tricks. So how are we going to play this? First of all, the thing to think about, obviously going to have to win this in our hand. And we'll win it with the ace just to give us more flexibility. But looking at the diamond suit, if they're 3, we've got 8 diamonds. So if they're 3-2, we could just play ace and then the king, queen, and the 5 diamonds will all be good. If they're split 4-1, we can pick them up either way, because we can play the king first and then finesse against the jack in whichever hand it is. But playing the king first will reveal if they're 5-0, and we'll be able to finesse either way if they don't follow, if not one of them doesn't follow. But if they both follow, we will have no idea about who might have 4 diamonds. There's nothing in the bidding to guide us. So in practice, we're only going to be able to finesse against the jack of diamonds if it's West that has the 4 diamonds. we won't find out in time if it's East that's got the 4 diamonds, because we can only finesse against the Jack of Diamonds in the East hand on the first or second round of the suit, because we've only got 3 cards in the suit. And on the third round, we just have the ace left. So what we're going to do when we play the diamonds is we will play the king and queen first, but we're going to play the 10 from our hand underneath it, because that will enable the suit to run straight away. So if we were to play the king of diamonds, play the 7, and then come with 2 to the ace, and we find out that East doesn't have any more, and at a 4 in the West hand, when we leave the 10 of diamonds, West can play low, and the 10, we take the finesse, the 10 wins, but then how are we going to get to dummy? If we play a heart, they can take the ace, and really the only way will be to overtake our queen of spades with the king, to lose one of our spade tricks. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this 10 of diamonds underneath the king of diamonds, so that then if we play a diamond to the ace and East shows out, we can lead the 7 of diamonds, and if West plays low, we can play the 9, and we'll still be in dummy, and we'll be able to play the queen of diamonds, capturing the jack, and roll all the diamonds. So we just need to think ahead about that, so we don't block the diamonds, so that we can take the finesse and be in the right hand. So, and the other, but we are going to play the 10 of spades. If they play the jack, then actually we could, and we win with the ace. Now, actually, we could overtake the queen of spades, and we wouldn't lose a spade trick. So that maneuver with the 10 of diamonds becomes unnecessary, but we will still do it. In fact, because I've got the queen of spades entry, or the question is, should I set up the hearts, or should we try and, which gives us 1 extra trick, but then they've got lots of heart tricks to cash. Or should we play on clubs, which could set up more tricks? Those entries are reasonably flexible. I'm in my hand. Always planning to play the 10 of diamonds. I'm going to play. I go in. If this were imps playing at teams, I'd just set up the heart trick, because that would give us our 9th trick if diamonds are all right. So I check on diamond. But playing in match points, we want to make as many over tricks as possible. They matter. So I'm going to play the 10 of diamonds. And the jack dropped there. So that must be singleton. So now actually the 10 and jack have gone. So ace, queen, 9 are the top 3 diamonds. And we play those 3 rounds of diamonds. Remember, we had 8, so they had 5. 2 of them are gone, so they've only got 3 left. So all those diamonds from the top, well, ace of diamonds, and then all those diamonds from the top will be good. So now we know the diamonds are good. We're going to try and set up a few club tricks. So we're going to finesse against the queen, and that worked. So this is good. We'll take another finesse against the queen, and the ace is there as well. Are they going to play spades? No, they're going to play the queen of clubs. And just checking that last trick. They followed, so that we started with 8 clubs, so they had 5, so they haven't got any more clubs. To which hand do we need the entry? Neither. We've got diamond entries to both hands, spade entry to this hand, because any way we can manufacture, we always got a heart loser. It seems, but we haven't got any others. They can see this king of hearts in dummy. And they're going to know. I wonder if there's a chance they'll dock the ace of hearts. I don't think so. We've got the rest of the tricks. once. But if I play out all our winners and just leave the king of hearts to the left, they'll catch it. So I'll play the 4. They're obviously going up with the ace. And now we've got the rest of the tricks. So throw away 2 diamonds, I suppose. Queen of hearts. And I can claim all the rest of the tricks because all the diamonds are good, the king of spades are good, and the 8 of clubs is good. So 660. You can't do much better than that. 82% this time. There's somebody else who's done the same as us on these 2 boards since we're equal first. Right, so here we are, 20 points. And you add them up. Lots of points in the minors, not so much in the majors, so we want to shut the opponents out. This is always a 2 no trump bid. Right, so the robots bid 3 no trumps. If they had a 4-card major, they would have used stamen. If they had a 5-card major, they'd have used transfers. So we know they don't have a 4-card major, which means we certainly need to worry, maybe need to worry a little bit about hearts. If we get a heart lead and the partner has nothing in hearts, the opponents will take the first 5 heart tricks. But they've raised 2 no trumps to 3, so they should be sitting there with 5 points, which should be enough to get us up towards 9 tricks in the minors and spades. So nothing to do but pass and await our fate. And they've led diamonds, which seems a particularly foolish thing for the robots to do. Because they do have 5 heart tricks to take off the top at least. The fact that this hand didn't lead hearts suggests actually that the East robot, well, they tend to lead short suits, but I thought they'd have led a 5-card suit. So maybe this hand has 4 hearts and this hand has 5 hearts. So we're going to make 4 diamonds on this lead. And we've got a spade is 5. So the club position, we're 6-4. So we've got 10 clubs. They've got 3. So let's look at what could happen. If they're 3-0, because we assume once they get in, if they get in, they're going to cash their heart tricks. They've made the mistake to start with, and we assume they'll correct that error next time. Although, well, I probably will. If we play the 5 of diamonds and don't win the 10, if this hand plays low, but say win the ace or the king, maybe this hand will carry on with diamonds if they win the club trick. So that's a possibility. So we could play the ace of clubs, and if the king of clubs is singleton, all the clubs will be ours. So that's the king of clubs is if the clubs right, so if the clubs split 2-1 and the king of clubs is singleton, playing the ace wins every time, all the time the king's singleton. But that's a third of the time when there's a 2-1 split. So if you think about it, if one of them's got 2 clubs and one of them's got 1 club, the king is twice as likely to be in the hand with 2 clubs as it is in the hand with 1 club. Because there are 2 places for it to go in the hand with 2 clubs and only 1 place for it to go in the hand with 1 club. So 2-1 split is the most likely thing to happen. It's very likely, up in the 70%. But most of the time, the king will be in the doubleton hand. What do we want to do? What about the 3-0 breaks? Because if you're missing 3 cards, they're either 2-1 one way or 3-0. There's no other way in which 3 cards can be split between the 2 opponents. And you may think, and obviously if the king of spades is, there are 3 spades to the king in this hand, then they're always going to win a spade trick. But just think if there are three, because we're missing the 10, if the east hand has king, 10, and the little spade, which is the 2, 3, the 6, then if we lead the queen of clubs from there, east will put on the king, we'll win the ace, and then we can win the jack. But this hand will still have the 10, so they've still got a spade stop if they split 3-0. So playing the clubs, we can ignore the 3-0 break. We're always losing a trick if there's a 3-0 break. So we're only interested in the 2-1 breaks. Right. So playing the ace, because the 2-1 breaks are the ones that give us a chance of making the contract or not losing a trick in clubs. And a third of the time when they break 2-1, the king will be singleton. So that's about 25% of the time. If we lead the queen of clubs and play east for the doubleton king, doubleton or singleton king, we will do it. But if there's a doubleton king over here, so this is all the 2-1 breaks where there's a singleton king in this hand, which is, we would have said it's about 25%, but there's a singleton king, so half the time a singleton king would be in this hand, so it's 12.5%, around about 12%. And the other times is when there's a doubleton king in this hand, which is 2/3 of the time when this, so half the time, if they split 2-1, half the time there'll be 2 here and there and 1 there. And 2/3 of the time when there's 2 here, the king will be in them. So really, we're looking at, it's much better chance, more than 50% of the 2-1 breaks, where leading the queen of clubs from dummy will be the thing to do. Of course, the thing we now need to consider is we can't actually get to dummy. So we're going to have, so if we were just playing the clubs anyway, with missing the king, with the queen jack and missing the 10, then the finesse would be the best line. But we can't finesse because we can't get to dummy. So we're going to have to hope to set up the clubs and hope they won't switch to hearts. The best chance of that is to win with a high diamond. I think the ace is the one that's most likely to fool the robots. Now we're going to play the ace of clubs in case there's a singleton king. And in fact, there's 3 to the king there, so we had no chance of running the clubs. 9 of hearts discard. Oh, the king of spades. Thank you, robots. Right. So I've got the ace of spades. And now I'm going to cash the queen of spades. Somebody's got the jack. It's the only card that can beat the 10. And now I'm going to play the clubs, keeping the diamonds here with an entry from dummy, in the hope that they'll discard diamonds and I'll be able to make the 10 of diamonds. So we're in dummy. We're going to cash our clubs. We've had a couple of diamond discards from there. I'm going to throw the 6 of spades from my hand. 8 of clubs and another diamond discard. This is looking good. I'll throw a 7 of hearts away. Right, now we come the 5 of diamonds, 9. This is queen. 2 of hearts away. There's the jack, 10. So the Queen of Hearts away, but they're not going to. Both going to have the last trick. And that's an 85% making +2. And somebody's keeping pace with us. All right. Got the same 3 scores as us on these first 3 boards. So the opponents have opened the bidding, 1 heart, 1 spade from there. We're sat here with 16 points. So there are various things we could do here. We could double for takeout, which would show the minor suits. Which we've got these 3 cards and support for both minor suits. 2 no trumps here would be the unusual no trump, which would show the minor suits, but it would show more shape and probably less strength. Double here would show more strength. We're doubling here when partners passed over 1 heart. So we need a reasonably strong hand to do that. Another option that we might consider is 1 no trump, because we've got the point, we're in the point range for it. 1 no trump overcall would be 15, 17. Although some people in this position where both opponents have bid, sometimes play 1 no trump as a conventional bid. So a sandwich no trump because you're sandwiched in between the 2 opponents. And you don't really want to overcome 1 no trump on it. And here we don't have a spade stop either, which is another argument against the trump. If I had 4 clubs, I think I would definitely make a takeout double. But East's 1 spade, 1 over 1 by an unpassed hand. This is forcing. So West's going to bid again. So we're going to have another chance to call. So we could still make a takeout double. For example, if West bids 2 spades and it goes pass, we can make a takeout double at this point. And if the opponents start bidding up, getting too high, that's good because they're vulnerable and we'll get a penalty. So I think for the moment, the best thing is to pass and see what happens. So they bid 2 clubs. This hand goes to 2 hearts now. Preference. So they may only have 2 hearts and 3 clubs. They won't have more than 5 spades. So once again, we may have a diamond fit, but partners quite limited. But they may well have 4 or 5 points because the opponents have limited their hand. And double now would just be 2 plus hearts, 20 minus total points. So it would be showing, it would be penalties, which we might be able to beat 2 hearts, but they might have some spades to run. The clubs are sat behind me. We don't know really. We've just got to pass again and hope to collect some hundreds. I think it's too dodgy to double. And well, there we go. We don't have a diamond fit. In this hand, this hand has 6 diamonds. We've got 4. Partners led the 9. 2, we're missing. The 3 and 5 are missing as well. So partner probably has 2 diamonds. So the 5 of diamonds is missing. So partner may have 9 of diamonds, may be a singleton, or it may be the top of a doubleton. I'm inclined to think the latter. But this hand bids spades. So West didn't support spades. So partner may well have some spades there. You see the auction. Yeah. So the question is, should I lead a heart now? I lead a low heart and they win low here, then roughing a club would be roughing with the ace. Because this hand bid 2 clubs, and may want to likely to want to rough some clubs in dummy. Don't really want them to ruff with the 2, but we get a chance to lead a trump when we win a club. That might be too late, but partner must have 4 spades at least, because if this hand had 4 spades, they would have supported spades. So they can't have more than 3. So if you look at that, the 4-3-7, R2 is 9. That's 4 for partner, and they might only have 2. Partner might have 5 spades, and this hand might only have 2. How keen are we to ruff? See, I don't want to. So I don't want to play the Queen of Diamonds because if this hand trumps and partner follows, it sets up the Jack of Diamonds for a discard after trumps are drawn. Although they don't, yeah, they could draw 2. Yeah, partner won't have many trumps. This hand's got at least 5 hearts and maybe 6. So it's quite like this row. This hand's got 3 spades, 5 hearts, 1 diamond, and 2 clubs. 1 club. No, 4 clubs, sorry, yeah. They did them. Yeah, so 5 hearts, 4 clubs, 1 diamond, and 3 spades. That's quite a likely shape for the West robot. If I lead a low heart, they can either let it run and the ace will have to win. Then when they play a club, hoping to ruff a club in dummy, I can win and I can draw the trump with the king. If I lead a low heart and they win in the West hand and they want to trump a club, they'll be trumping with the ace of hearts. But I could almost get to that position. I think I'm in the position where I want to try and see if I can create some spade tricks for partner. Partner's played the 9 of spades. I think that's meant to be encouraging. So here they come with their club attempt. So now if they ruff a club, they'll be roughing it with the ace of hearts. So they're not. So maybe they've got the clubs are set up now. This diamond comes, the 9's gone, so the 8 in. They are trumping. Partner doesn't have any more diamonds now, though. So they're going to cash their 2 clubs. They may play a another one. No, they're playing the heart round to us. Jack, I could play a spade, but I may as well let them play spades. So I'm going to draw a trump. Their trump. Cash the queen, play the Queen of Diamonds. Force them to play spades from their hand. If they have any, they don't. So they made, that's probably not good. 42. I think I could have done a trick better if I hadn't drawn the trump. I just forced them to ruff while I still had a trump. Yeah, their club, so they had 6 hearts and 5 clubs. So we're still in first place. Whoever was doing it did the same as us. So one of these players here, but we can hold it to 2 hearts. So I think I misdefended that. And we'll move on to board 5. And this is an 18 count. It's not really a very nice 18 count with the singleton diamond. Queen of Diamonds probably not worth very much. if I open one club and they respond one diamond, the robots really want me to say one heart, whereas I really want to then say two no trumps, showing 18, 19 balanced once if the robot has diamonds. If I open this one no trump, then the difficulty is if the robot has 6 or 7 points with 4 hearts, we'll miss our full 4 heart fit. I think I've got to open this one club for now. It's getting passed out. Right, so I might have been better opening one no trump, since no trumps scores at 40 for the first trick. And then partner might have transferred to hearts and we'd have been in a much better contract. Still, the 10 of clubs has 1. So this is the one time for the moment that we're going to be in dummy. Is it worth taking the spade finesse now? Maybe not. Maybe I should just play a heart to the ace and see what happens. So we've only got 6 hearts. They've got 6 club trumps rather. We had 5, dummy had 1. I'm hoping after I've drawn trumps, I can get to dummy and hearts. I'll certainly play hearts from my hand, but they may be able to set up diamonds. Can they avoid playing spades for me? I've got a hope for a singleton honor in the heart honor in the east hand, or hearts 2-2. Singleton king or queen in the east hand. I think I'm going to do that for my best chance in making this contract is to make something of the hearts. So I've got to hope that the honors are split 2-2. And they're not. But they're cashing their king of hearts, which is a good. They've thrown a high spade, so hopefully that encourages them to play spades. No, they're going to play diamonds. And now they're playing clubs. Okay, well, I'm going to put the king on here. I'd like them to play the ace. I'm going to play the 3 of spades just to encourage them to play spades. Oh, they're carrying on playing clubs. Okay, I'll play a diamond this time. All right, that's why. Because this hand also had 5 clubs. So I've now got 3 tricks. But the queen jack of clubs, 2 more tricks making 5, and that will draw all the trumps from here, because I had 5, dummy had 1, east had 2, that's 8. So this hand had 5 and I had 5, so I can draw their trumps. Those 2 hearts are good, and then I can think about whether I take the spade from this or not. So let's do that. I'll throw 1 spade away, doesn't have to. And throw a diamond. I'm going to throw another spade away just because they'll have, one of them will have to keep a diamond then, as I put a diamond in dummy. Now, the robots never bear an honor. So if West had the king of spades, they will never have thrown away all their other spades and just kept the king bare in the hope that I will finesse. The robots always protect their kings. So I can take the spade finesse in perfect safety, knowing that if the queen loses to the king, West is going to leave another spade around. So I'll leave the jack of spades and try the queen, and it wins, and I can play the ace of spades now. And that's 9 tricks in clubs, but it won't do as well as the people who managed to play in no trumps. But 85% will do, but somebody obviously did play, somebody who played in no trumps has moved ahead. So one of these two players above us, the one who made an extra trick in clubs, all managed to play in 3 hearts, which is presumably is the one that's beating us. So this is either George 53 or Bama Bill. Yeah, one of those two is the one that's leading at the moment, beating our 77.9%. But we do have 3 boards to overtake them, and they can't be that far ahead of us. Right, so East's passed. We've got 9 and 5, 14, 17 points. 5, 4, 2, 2. We normally treat it as balanced. The disadvantage will be if partner has 4, as I said before, if partner has 4 hearts and 7 points, they'll just pass. And we'll miss our 4-4 heart pick. Whereas I open 1 diamond, they'll go 1 heart, and one can raise hearts, and we'll play in hearts. On the other hand, as you saw last time, if I'd opened 1 no trump, there would have been a transfer to hearts, and we would have played in hearts. And if 1 no trump gets passed out, there is likely to lead a heart as a spade almost. So, I think I'm going to open 1 no trump. It's getting passed out. And partner doesn't have 4 hearts. That's the good news. The queen of diamonds has been led. So that normally means the jack is here as well. So you can see I can play low 9, win with the ace, and finesse the 10, and play the king. But they probably have 4 diamonds. So that probably means we'll still have to give up a trick. But we've got 2 spade losers. Remember, we've got queen, jack, 10, 9 of spades. So they can take 2 spades, but we can set them up in dummy. And we've got diamond entries to get to them. If they play clubs from the west hand, then they'll give us an extra club trick, because if West plays a club, East plays an honor, I take the ace and the jack and 10, one of them will be good after another honor. So must be right to win this with the ace. Question is now, do I just go after the diamonds, finesse the 10, play the king? This hand probably has 4 diamonds to lead the queen. The robot wouldn't lead it. May even have 5. No, they can't have 5 because the hand followed. So we had 5, dummy had 3, that's 8. So they've got 5, and we've seen 2 of them. So they've got 3 left. This hand's probably got them all. So we will take that finesse and we will cash the king, but we might do it to get to some spade winners. So I'm going to try and see if we can get rid of the ace king of spades. Probably a club's coming now. No, a heart is. Right, so I'm going up with the king here. Expect the ace to come. They may play some more hearts. Yeah, the jack, that's good. The robot's very nice like that. I can win the queen. The 10's a winner. I've got the ace of clubs as an entry to my hand. I'm always going to be able to take the diamond finesse. So I can take the diamond finesse with the 10, assuming it wins. If East doesn't follow, I can play a spade to the jack. And if they win the honor, that will mean that the 10 and 9 are set up and I still have the king as an entry. They probably won't do that. I play the jack of spades now. They might take it, or they might not. Set up, they don't set up the 10 and 9. If they do duck it, I'll take the diamond finesse. If the diamonds are 3-2, then I can play the king that will drop the jack, and I can come with the ace of clubs, and all my diamonds will be good, and the 10 of hearts we know is good. We've still got 2 losers. So I think I'm going to play the jack of spades and see if they win the ace. So the 10 and 9 are now good. We're getting another heart. No, we're getting a club now, which is good. Right, what are we going to do? We can cash the 10 of hearts. We now can't come back to our diamonds, so if we cash the 10 of hearts, we set up hearts for them. So we can cash if we cash the 10 of hearts, that makes us 4 tricks. Finesse the 10 of diamonds is 5. King of diamonds is 6. 10, 9 of spades is 7. And that will be it. So I think I'm going to leave the 10 of hearts in my hand, because they can't play hearts without doing it, without giving me that trick. And I'm going to play the diamonds now. Right. And they were 3-2, so I may not get the best score here because I could just have set up the diamonds. These diamonds are good, but I've got no way of reaching them. I'm throwing my heart loser away. So I had 2 spades, dummy had 4, that's 6. They had 7, they followed to 3 rounds, so I played 6 of them, so I've only got 7 spades, so I can draw that, play that spade without setting up any winners for them. Now my 10 of hearts is a winner, my 8 of diamonds is a winner. I can play the 3 of clubs to the jack, they're going to win that. But now, let's see, they either have to play a club to the 10, actually they're playing the 7 of hearts to my 10, and my 8 of diamonds is now a winner. So I made 9 tricks altogether, 85.7%. We're now in first place, so we've overtaken one of those 2 on that hand. Right. It is a bit crazy that you have to be close to 80% in order to be winning the event. Right. So this is a 13 count, flat 13 counts. We're going to open 1 spade. So it's 5 card majors. 1 no trump from the robot. It's a forcing 1 no trump. They have 3 minus spade, 6 minus. So this in 2 over 1, which is what the robot plays. The 1 no trump, the traditional way of playing 2 over 1 is that 1 no trump is forcing, because you can't bid 2 of a suit over 1 spade without 13 points really, because you're forcing to game. That's what 2 over 1 means. That if they bid if you open 1 of a suit and they bid 2 of a suit, that's forcing to game. Now this is really good when you're potentially got a slam, because you can really start exploring about whether you've got enough to slam at a very low level. So, and also exploring which is the best game to play. So it's very good for games and slams 2 over 1. It's not so good for the part scores, which is where Ackle with its weak no trump and 4 card majors tends to win out. But so the consequence of that is 1 no trump could be up to 12 points because you need 13 points to bid 2 over 1. And therefore, you need to make it forcing so that partner has to bid. The practice today amongst most 2 over 1 players is that they call this semi-forcing, that most times you will bid on unless you had a really rubbish opening. And my opening isn't really rubbish, it's 13 points. They have, but we know that it's a best hand tournament, so the robot can't have as much as us. Well, they can't have more than 12 points, but there is still room for them to have 12 points. So I don't think we can pass that. Now, strangely enough, the robot bids, oh no, it would show 6 spades over 1 no trump. So I've got to bid 2 clubs, which just shows wide ranging, basically. So the robot should have 6 hearts here. No, only 5 hearts. 6 to 9 high card points. And really, I don't see the point in that bid. I don't have spades in support of us. So our alternatives here are 2 no trumps or pass, I think. See what the robot would think of 2 no trumps. Invitational to 3 no trumps, 17 plus high card points. We don't have that. 2 spades would promise 6 spades. So basically we have to pass 2 hearts. And I think this is the bit where 2 over 1 is not so good at the part score level. We'll see when we get to see dummy what was the right thing, except it won't be dummy. It'll be the hand that playing it. The south hand will be the dummy, and the north hand will be doing that unless they, yeah. Right, so the north hand is the one they can't see. So they do have 6 hearts, which is fine. Bidding it with 6 hearts is absolutely fine, and that would show that sort of hand. So we want to do that. So we're happy about this. So there are essentially 2 lines that we can play here. We can obviously depends what they switch to, but we could cash the ace king of diamonds and then try and rough 2 diamonds in the south hand, which is the dummy. We need entries to the north hand for that, but we can rough some clubs, which probably isn't bad. So, but the robots led the ace, and they lead the king from ace king. So this is likely to be from a short suit. So we might get well over roughed trying to rough clubs. The other alternative is to try and set up the spades for duck to throw 2 diamonds away. Lead spades from this hand. If the ace of spades is there, we'll probably set them up. But we've got the ace and king of diamonds as entries, and we can rough them good once we've drawn trumps. So may depend on what the robot leads next. Okay, let's try the 8 of clubs, king. So this does look like the robot east hand is short in clubs. Leading the ace, an unsupported ace from a long hand just seems very bad, and the robot would tend not to do that. The robot would much rather lead from a short suit. So I think that is the case. So I'm going to try and draw trumps now. So the question is, I'm going to try and draw trumps and then set up the spades for 2 diamond discards rather than trying to rough diamonds in dummy. I think. Yes. Because I have to cash the ace king diamonds. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So now that comes, the question comes, what's the best way of playing the trumps? Ace and a low one. Remember, we've got 8 trumps, 6 and 2. They've got 5, which we hope will break through 2. We're almost certain to lose 2 of them. I think there are some four. We could play the ace, hoping to drop a singleton honor. But I think we're better at leading the three of hearts towards the jack. If the king was singleton, that turns out badly. There's the 10 of hearts. All right. Well, we're going up with the ace here, I think. They follow, so they've just got one winning trump now. Do we want to knock it out? Let's play spades. We're welcome to rough with it sometime. The ace of spades. Now what they're going to play, a diamond, presumably. No, they're going to draw the trump. So we'll throw a club. Heart. 6 of spades. Well, we're not finessing. So we started with 5 spades in dummy, 2 in our hand, 7 spades. So they started with 6, and 4 of them have gone. So let's see how many more go. That's all of them gone. So we've got 2 spades and 2 diamonds. And I only got 3 diamonds here and 2 trumps. So we're going to make the rest of the tricks so we can claim. 140 is 75%. Is that enough to keep us in first place? Just. Right. Last board. 1 heart by East. Bug. Right. So we have this 5-4-4 shape, void in hearts, 14 points. We're going to have to make a takeout double. Why? I don't like this. I would be much happier if I had a singleton heart, and 1 less diamond, for example, 1 less club in making the takeout double. Because there's a real risk now that when I go double, it'll go pass, pass, pass. Partner may have quite a lot of hearts and may pass for penalties, and I can't. And the one rule that you should never break is that if you make a takeout double and your partner passes for penalties, you should lead a trump. And I can't do that. And I certainly would have to apologize to my partner if he or she passed for penalties and I didn't lead a trump just because I had a void. It's hardly a valid excuse because it's an unbreakable rule that you should lead a trump if partner passes your takeout. But I've got no choice. Double, 2 hearts from there. Right, so partner's not now going to pass for penalties, I don't think. Partner's got quite a weak hand, couldn't bid over 2 hearts, therefore probably doesn't have 4 spades, but I'm happy if they bid 3 of a minor. So I'm going to double again. I think it's 17 total points. Well, so right, oh well, it's driven them to 3 hearts. And hearts are breaking badly. Partner probably does have 4 hearts here. But I've done my bit. I've done the best I can and driven them up. So we're going to pass. This hand probably has a weak hand with 4 hearts west. Because to go on to 3 hearts says the law. So they've got 4 plus hearts. Here they only show 3 hearts and a weak hand. And here they've shown their 4th heart. And once again, it's the law of total trumps. They should bid to the level of their fit. They have 9, because the 1 heart was a 5 card. They play 5 card majors. That was 5 cards. They've got 4 at least. But I think if they had 5, they'd have done more than 2 hearts. So I think my part, East has 5 hearts. So I think if they had 6, they might have done something more. So they probably have 5 hearts. They 4 hearts. A partner probably has 4 hearts to make the 13 hearts. So we have to lead. The opening bid is on our right. Partner, we don't want to lead from any of these suits. But the other thing is, partners shouldn't have spades. Of course, they should, here in this position, in this second round where I've doubled 1 heart, they bid 2 hearts. if they've got 5 points and 4 spades, they should, even 4 points and 4 spades, they should be bidding 2 spades. Once again, it's the law of total tricks. I've almost certainly got 4 spades, so I don't think they got 4 spades. So I don't. They probably, and partners have many points. So I think spade honours are more likely in the east and west hands. Partner doesn't have a long minor suit, so I think leading from ace queen is really bad, setting up a king in the east hand. Leading the 3 of clubs is probably the least of the evils. It might capture my partner's queen, but yeah, there are other chances. So I'm going to lead the 3 of clubs. I don't think my ace will disappear. It did capture my partner's queen, but hopefully partner can get in hearts and lead a club through declare as jack to my ace 10. 4 spades in dummy, as expected. Really, one of them had to have spades. Quite a strong hand, 6, 8 points. I think that hand was worth 3 hearts to start with over a double. Right, so the question is, what am I going to discard? Well, I'm going to discard the 2 of diamonds. I'm going to keep spades with dummy. The 8 of spades might be valuable on the 4th round. And I don't want partner leading diamonds, setting up the king of diamonds there. So partner has 4 little hearts. Not long in anything, so I'm going to throw the 4 of diamonds now. Declare are really going to draw 4 rounds of trumps? No, they're going to play spades now. Well, if the 6 of spades is a singleton, partner's got the king, so we'll play the 4. Partner does have the king. Declare has the 10, but now partner plays back the club, which will probably declare is out of clubs, but they'll be roughing in the long trump hand. No, so that was fine. We've got 3 tricks so far. We've got the club, so I'm going to play ace of diamonds and a low diamond. Am I? I don't risk the 5 of clubs because that's the rough and the discard. Play ace of diamonds, low diamond. Prepare roughs to that. Yeah, they have. If they rough too many times, my partner gets a trick. So the ace of diamonds is right. And I'm not going to cash play plus the ace of spades because declarer probably doesn't have a singleton spade because my partner, as I explained, probably doesn't have 4 spades. But there's nowhere for that spade to go if declarer has a spade. So I'm just going to play the 7 of diamonds to the king. They're going to draw trumps. I'm going to throw the 5 of clubs away. Here's the 10 of spades. I'm taking the ace now because it may well be doubleton. And we've got our 5 tricks beating 3 hearts, which we drove them up to by our successive doubles. Partner still has a trump. We have a diamond and a spade. If I lead a spade, sadly, partner played their 9 of hearts earlier. If they'd played low, then I think I need to play the 3 diamonds. Oh, partner's 4 hearts were all pathetic. All right, but we managed to get our 5 tricks to beat it 1, which was enough to win 92.9% this time. And that was enough to, and it was the 2, George 63 and Bama Bill, who were behind us, but we ended up 10% and 15% ahead of them. So that was quite successful. I think you can see on the other tables, 3 hearts -1. A couple of other people did it, and 4 hearts -1. So that's getting them down. But then they let them people make. We had to drive them up to 3 hearts in order to get a good score. So we did need to double those 2 times to drive them up. Otherwise, partner would have been forced to bid a 3-card suit and probably wouldn't have picked diamonds. So we might have been in some trouble. But at match points, you've just got to do that. So that was very successful. I hope there were some useful lessons in there. Particularly pay attention to that dummy reversal hand. As I say, don't rough in the long trump hand unless you're sure that you can play this dummy reversal. Otherwise, obviously if the opponent's lead a suit that you're going to run, you've got to rough sometimes in the long trump hand. But don't take roughs yourself voluntarily in the long trump hand unless you have a plan to rough enough to make it the short trump hand, and the original short trump hand has enough high cards to draw the opponent's trumps afterwards. So that's the dummy reversal. It's very, it's come up maybe 3 times in the year and a bit that I've been running these tournaments. So that's what was just over 70 weeks. So it's rare, but not that rare. It's a useful tool to have in your armory. But as I say, beware, because normally roughing in the long trump hand is not the thing to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful. I think it probably went on a bit long this week, but hopefully that was because they were interesting hands and there were interesting lessons to be learned. So if you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next week, hopefully. Thanks for watching.